Good afternoon and welcome to a special Planning Commission meeting we're conducting today. With us today, on my far left is Ron Thomas, and immediately to my left is Jim Stone. Far right is Judy Rowland, and on Zoom we have Colin Fuscaroo and Shelley McIntyre. So welcome to all. We ask that before we get started that everyone please put your phones on vibrate, which I need to do, so we don't have any of that. I am, okay. The first item on the agenda is actually approval of 2 minutes. First one is from July 29. All those who are with us today were at that meeting.
I will move approval of the minutes for July 29.
Second. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed unanimously. And the second one is the minutes from August the 12th. And again, all those who are present today were present at that meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes for August 12th.
Second.
Any discussion on that motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Do we know that we can hear them? Because
Can you all hear us?
Yes.
Good.
Shelley?
She's muted. That, she might be able to hear us, but she,
I can hear you.
good,
Great.
good. Oh, thank you. We have, for development review cases before us. First one is, Verizon on Garland Grove Boulevard.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, we're going to handle that one and the one following it, because it's a subdivision for the same property as one presentation.
Fine with me.
Okay, this is subdivision plat for Hager's Crossing. I think it's actually Hagerstown Crossing, RE LLC, lots 6A, 6B, 6C, 6D, 6E, and 6R. This is on the west side of Garland Grove Boulevard. Subdivision plat 2020-06 and the Forest Conservation Plan for part of that development, Forest Conservation Plan 2020-01. This proposed plat re-subdivides the former Aschenbach tract into 6 tracts as follows. 6A, a 2.6 acre lot adjacent to the Walmart building. This site has been discussed in the past for the potential site of a small supermarket, however, no plans are active at this time. 6B, a 2.09 acre lot between 6A and Garland Grove Boulevard. This site currently has a site plan pending for a gas station with a convenience store. 6C, a 0.9 acre lot north of the existing credit union building. A site plan for a Verizon telephone store was recently approved for this lot by the Planning Commission. 6D, a 1.66 acre lot located between the future Verizon store and Hager's Crossing Drive. There's no plans for that at this time. Lot 6E, a 4.22 acre lot that includes a pad site. That's one of those, missed that one. A 4.22 acre lot that includes a pad site between the Verizon store lot and includes all of the floodplain area adjacent to Hager's Crossing Drive. And then 6R, which is in the center rear, is a 3.13 acre lot located in the rear center of the property behind the credit union parcel. An easement for common access bisects the site behind the lots that front Garland Grove Boulevard. One end connects to a planned entrance on Hager's Crossing Drive. The easement on the other end goes up to the property line and will permit connection in the future should the city find opportunity to require Walmart to connect to this stud to create a common access through the developments on this side of Garland Grove Boulevard. Included in lots 6D, part of 6C, and part of 6E has not previously been included in the Forest Conservation Plan. The rest of the development is already included in the Forest Conservation Plan for Hager's Crossing Shopping Center. The area delineated is 4.9 acres. There's no existing forest in this area. Planting required is 0.57 acres, and they propose to plant in the floodplain, which is a priority treatment, between the western property line and the proposed driveway connection to Hager's Crossing Drive, adjacent to Hager's Crossing, adjacent to Hager's Crossing Drive. No plan review committee was held due to the state of emergency. The following agencies have provided approval: Water, Wastewater, Parks and Engineering, Fire Marshal, and Health. Conditional approval has been provided by planning, subject to 3 minor items. Therefore, staff recommends approval of this plat, subject to the conditional approval from planning, and recommends approval of the Forest Conservation Plan. Megan, if you could scroll down to the 3rd page. This is the Forest Conservation Plan. Hager's Crossing Drive is shown along the right edge of the drawing. Bolingbroke Boulevard is down about where the title blocks are on this drawing. And this area is floodplain. And this is the area that's being addressed through planting to address the Forest Conservation Ordinance. And Ed is here. Do you have any questions?
Okay, as one of the conditional minor items that you mentioned, the confusing designation for partial C, upper right-hand corner. This is the site. We're going to do forest conservation first, or
Doesn't matter, I'm
talking about in the subdivision plat.
Could you go back up to the top page?
In the upper right-hand corner, just immediately south of the access road that's shown as hatching, you have labeled partial C. There,
That should be.
that's an abandoned partial C,
Yeah,
and to avoid future confusion, should be labeled correctly.
As previously approved, parcel C?
Previously approved, that's fine, good words. Abandoned, that's also whatever is something that will stand up to the test of time. 10 years from now, someone's gonna look at it and go, wait a minute, where's partial C? I don't see any of that in any of the legal stuff.
it's labeled previously parcel C on the Forest Conservation Plat, so it doesn't have to be fixed there, but
Good. So would you add that to your list of planning commission revisions? So that would leave only then planning commission revisions is the only outstanding subject conditional approval, correct? For both forest conservation and the site plan. Now, they're called out separately on the agenda, so I believe we should call for separate votes, even though we had one presentation.
To be clarified here, on the last page, we're talking about this parcel C. It says previous, now you said something about abandoned parcel.
Now, on that drawing, it's marked so as not to cause confusion. On the site, on the subdivision drawing,
Okay,
in that same area, it's not clear about what C was.
okay.
I'm not sure which drawing you're on.
I'm looking at the last drawing here where.
That's not a problem for me.
That's not a problem, okay, that's
It's the
the
page immediately above that.
above that, okay.
No, it, for that,
This one?
yeah.
Okay, I see now, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't even see the small lettering there, yeah, it's still marked parcel C, so the two should match in what they say.
There is no partial C anymore. It shouldn't say there's a partial C. I'm just asking it to be correctly identified.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns? this is not a site plan, but what roads are being built in conjunction with Verizon?
That's the one that's labeled Jocelyn Drive.
What about the extension of Justine?
Ed?
Not at this time, no, not until those lots behind it are actually being developed.
Of course, Delphia exists because that's the driveway that goes into Bulldog now.
Yeah.
So,
And Johnson Drive is a right in, right out?
Correct. That's correct.
I know we'll see it again, but I just thought I'd ask. If there's no more questions, I'll take a motion on the forest conservation plan.
I move that we approve the forest conservation plan.
Second.
Thank you. Second was by Colin.
Yes.
Ready to vote? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? There are none. That passes unanimously. Now I'll take a motion on the subdivision for the final plat.
I'll make a motion to approve the final plat with the correction being made for parcel C.
Second.
Second.
There's three other, you got three other minor revisions.
yeah, they're just notational stuff.
Okay. Motion's been made second for approval.
I shall have that.
Yes, Shelley second, right? Yeah. Thank you. We ready to vote? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Now we have Hager's Crossing, Phase 2B6. To be or not to be?
Okay, this is subdivision plat S 2020-08 for Hager's Crossing, Phase 2, Block B6 on the north side of Hager's Crossing Drive. This plat is for recording 54 single-family detached dwelling unit lots and associated street rights-of-way. This will be the last section to be platted north of Hager's Crossing Drive. Street tree easements are located across all street frontages, as the street trees in this development are credited toward forest conservation plan requirements and are outside of the street right-of-way. Agencies have provided approvals: fire marshal, water, wastewater, health, and parks and engineering. Provides conditional approval subject to adding one minor note. Education provided the attached memo addressing school capacity in this area. This is provided for informational purposes only, as the city does not have an adequate public facilities ordinance for schools at this time, so school capacity cannot be used as a justification to deny a plat application. Staff recommends approval, subject to resolving the one minor condition from planning. On the screen is the layout of the remaining lots to be platted on the north side. There is a stub to the adjoining property to the north, so if in the future that property develops, the road system can be designed to connect into and provide access to Hager's Crossing Drive. My understanding is that Richmond American is running out of lots. They're selling out there like hotcakes, and they expect to be out of lots within the next couple of weeks. So it was important that they get this plat approved and recorded so they can continue to move forward in building out the development. So staff recommends approval.
What is the planning department's minor note?
The minor note, I just wanted a reference to the prior recorded plat on the adjacent stormwater lot. Up in here, real minor note.
Hager's Crossings.
Yeah.
Why are we calling subdivision the commercial area Hager's Crossing also on that? What we just approved a few minutes ago
Yeah.
is labeled Hager's Crossing.
Hagerstown Crossing. Hagerstown Crossing, RELLC.
You gotta fix that then.
To,
It says Hager's Crossing on the plat.
when that plat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
It's also labeled as Hager's Crossing on Google Maps and the elementary school, and the development is Jonathan Hager Elementary School.
Let's put our heads together on this one. Get it straightened out
We're good.
before it gets recorded for
Yes,
clarity.
that was actually one of my things that I did correct, because the forest conservation language says the proper name of Hagerstown Crossing, and I noticed that they were inconsistent. So my direction then was just make it consistent.
And the site plan itself,
What's that?
the site plan itself, I mean, not the site, the final plat is also called Hager's Crossing.
But everything in that neighborhood is called Hager's Crossing, so I think it's actually officially called Hager's Crossing.
This plat here,
Yeah.
one of my comments was I noticed an inconsistency in the use of Hager's Crossing RE and Hagerstown Crossing RE.
Okay.
My instruction to them was make it consistent with whatever the legal name is.
All right.
The little name being Hagerstown.
It's gonna be Hagerstown Crossing, yeah.
Now, back to Hager's Crossing.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Any questions, comments, any additional?
I make a motion that we approve the Hagerstown crossing.
No.
No, Hager.
This is Hager's Crossing now. Okay. This is Hager's Crossing.
Let me try again.
Yeah.
Approve the Hager's Crossing site plan with the one additional upon the one major comment, one comment by.
Subdivision plat, not site plan.
Oh, didn't you have a comment on the site plan too?
We have no site plan.
We have no site
I
plan.
mean, sorry, I said so. Subdivision plan, excuse me.
This is Chris, second.
Oh, Chris, hi. I didn't know
I've
you.
been here for a while.
Good. We have a full house then. Great. So the motion is the approval of the final plat for Hager's Crossings Phase 2B-6. Are we all on that page?
Correct.
All right. And there was a second on that?
Chris.
Chris, second. All righty. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? It passes unanimously. And finally, we have the ARC. And I am being swamped by paper. All right.
Sit down. I know you're gonna ask, where's the canopy? Canopy is this white area here, that's between the two buildings. Everything that's green and gray is either green or paper. But this white area here and here is the canopy that proposes to connect the two buildings.
Thank you.
Okay, this is site plan 2020-04, site modifications to the Arc of Washington County at 820 to 840 Florida Avenue. This site plan is for removing a drive aisle and parking between the two buildings, filling and landscaping, constructing a covered walkway between the two buildings, and reconfiguring some of the parking in front of this area to create a drop-off area. A net increase of 20 parking spaces for the complex going from 287 to 307 spaces will result. The Board of Zoning Appeals approved variances for the two properties to reduce the required side yard setback to 0 for each building in order to construct the covered walkway that will cross the interior property line between the two buildings. The board placed a condition on the approval that the covered walkway will be removed from the two 10-foot side setbacks should the building ever come under separate ownership. The disturbed area is 1.2 acres. Forest conservation is not required in this case due to it being redevelopment of impervious surface. Parking lot landscaping has been retrofitted to the extent practicable, including plantings along the side property line adjacent to the industrial property to the east, installation of street trees to the west of the driveway entrance, even though there's a row of large evergreen trees already there. 8 additional parking lot trees and plantings around the front entrance of the building. This is a retrofit situation where some landscaping previously exists, and staff suggests that rather than analyze the landscaping for line-by-line compliance with the landscaping requirements, this be treated as an alternate landscape plan proposal. No PRC was conducted due to the current state of emergency. The following agencies have provided approval: Fire Marshal, Wastewater, Health, Parks and Engineering, and Water. Conditional approval has been provided by planning, subject to about 5 minor issues. And I haven't had a chance to talk to Adam about those yet. They were all real minor notation things we traded in an email. So staff recommends approval, subject to addressing the planning's conditional approval. I mean, it is what it is. You got 2 existing buildings. They are on separate lots. They are under common ownership. They're being used jointly, so they're looking to build a covered walkway between the 2 of them. The area behind the walkway will be put in the green space. And then there's the front's being reconfigured for a drop-off loop. This particular zoning district does not, it's not like the CG zoning district. The CG, you can actually build what amounts to townhouse commercial, where you can build up to the property line under certain circumstances, but that provision does not extend to the industrial zoning districts. So.
So staff is okay with the proposed landscaping plan?
Yes.
Is everybody else okay with the proposed landscaping plan?
I'm still trying to figure out where the heck the canopy.
Steve passed out a wall.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. And,
Okay, that's shown in white on that.
Between the 2 big buildings?
okay, the 2 big buildings. All right. Back here and find the 2 big.
Not just a canopy across that comes down into the parking, which I guess.
I'm looking at the wrong 2 buildings. It should
Covers
be
you in the
the
rain.
Yeah, okay,
Covers you in the rain.
Yeah.
okay. All right, I understand.
Okay.
Don't pay any attention to me, I'm just here.
So a couple things I wanted to point out. Now our ordinances will be updating them. One of the things that they're adding is a pedestrian walkway up to the side. Because if you remember, we added in the latest round of requirements, when you have a site plan, people shouldn't walk up driveways in order to gain pedestrian access to your building. So there should be some sort of walkway from the front door down to the street where it can be achieved. They've done that here with this walkway. Also, these trees that are here, those are mature evergreen trees. You really can't see through them, but nonetheless, they are putting street trees along the front as well. So between the addition of these street trees, the additional trees throughout the development, And then the landscaping that you're going to do across the front of the building, they've done, for what they're achieving, they've done a lot.
Any other questions or concerns? So we need our motion to state that we accept both the site plan and the proposed landscaping plan.
You want to do those together or separately?
You get them together.
Make a motion that we accept the proposed site plan and the landscaping.
Second.
Second then. You ready to vote? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes unanimously. Seeing there's no other business on the agenda, I'll call for adjournment. Thank you all very much for making time to be able to get this done.
Yes, thank you. We needed to get that Hager's Crossing plat approved, but they're like,